This podcast is for voice teachers and coaches to answer the question, how do I grow my teaching business and even break out of that one-on-one lesson model so that I can reach and teach who I want whenever I want? I'm your host, Allie Tyler, voice teacher of over a decade and marketing and business coach for fellow voice teachers. Welcome to the Voicepreneur podcast. Before we dive into this episode, I want to take a moment to reflect on what's truly possible when you have a business that works for you. You've heard me say this all the time because we are not here to work in or for our business constantly. We are here to create a teaching business that supports you, your life, your lifestyle, your strengths, your creativity, your wellness, and oh my gosh, so much more. Now, here's the thing. The number one thing that's allowed me to do this in my life, truly the number one thing, is hiring help. I could never do what I'm doing without investing in support. It has given me the freedom to focus on what I do best, which is ideating and creating and teaching. And I leave all of that admin work to someone who is really good at that. This is truly what has allowed me to be the CEO of my business and the CEO of my life. And that's why I'm so excited to bring you an exclusive bonus episode with my right-hand woman, Mika. Together, we are sharing everything that we've learned about working together as a team. So things like who to hire and what to outsource and how to streamline your back end so that it runs like a machine. If you have a virtual assistant or a team or you want to hire one in the future, this episode can truly change your life. It is so good, it had to be its own special bonus. So, to get access, all you have to do is two things. Number one, review the podcast on Apple Podcasts and email us a screenshot of that review. And then number two, share any episode on your Instagram stories with a takeaway and tag me at the Voicepreneur. Once we've confirmed that you've done those two things, we will send you the episode. So go do those two things, and I hope you enjoy this episode. So today I just finished a day of one-on-one coaching with voice teachers, and that can look like a few different things. It can look like right now one-on-one Zoom calls, which are primarily given to select voice teachers at the moment, maybe people inside of my programs where they want a giveaway or people I've been working with for a little bit, and then also Telegram chatting on Telegram. And something that came up from one of my voice teacher clients, and she's awesome, and she's going to know it's her the moment that she hears this. She sent me an audio text that was like, okay, it took me literally 75 minutes to make an Instagram story sequence. Like, WTF, what is wrong with me? She just kept saying that. I don't know what's wrong with me, but it took me 75 minutes. She had set a timer for herself because she gave herself this parameter of getting an Instagram story sequence done to sell one of her singing offers in 15 minutes. So she set the timer for 15 minutes, then she had to go do something else, and then she kept repeating the clock, and then she realized it had taken her 75 minutes to create this Instagram story sequence. So I could talk all day about what that sequence was and how that was actually super beneficial for her, which is what I told her. But what I was really thinking about was this expectation that we tend to put on ourselves to get something done quickly, to make something good the first time, whatever it is. And what often happens is we will create this parameter for ourselves, and let's use the time one because that one makes the most sense to us. Like, I'm going to create an Instagram story sequence in 15 minutes, right? Or I've got an hour, I'm going to, edit the about page on my website, or I'm going to create the onboarding process for my inquiring students, or whatever it is, right? And then it takes longer than the designated time that we needed, right? And then we feel like shit. We beat ourselves up about it. We're like, how could it take me this long? What the hell is wrong with me? Something must be off with me. And then we get so burned out from our own inner critic that we don't do it again, or we feel super discouraged by it, or we have a bad taste in our mouth about it, or we look at that task on our to-do list and we feel all these weird feelings about it and resentment and resistance, and you just don't want to do it. And to me, what it really boils down to is that very first expectation that we all naturally create for ourselves, myself included. What is really going to help with this? We have to rewrite the narrative around what our expectation is and own the stage of marketing and of business that we are in. And what I mean by this, and man, is this so much like singing or what? But think about it like singing, okay? You have different stages of learning, right? We have the stage where we come in and we have absolutely no idea how to do a certain technique. We've never done it before. It feels very weird to us, and it takes us a minute to figure it out, right? Then we have the stage of, okay, now I think I know what that feels like, and I get it. I understand what it is conceptually and physically and all of that. And then you're practicing integrating it and making it a little bit more of a habit, right? And then we have that third stage where it really does become like a habit. It's like autopilot that we do that thing. So, and of course, I'm sure there's many more stages beyond that, but let's just say it's those stages, right? Those 3 stages. If you were to learn a technique that you're not in stage 2 yet, like you're not in that stage of being able to implement it all the time, and you want to like learn this and do it and master it really quickly in 15 minutes or less, do you think that you are going to be successful? Probably not, right? And that is okay. What ends up hurting you is your reaction to your expectation. What ends up actually preventing you from growing is the attachment that you have to the expectation itself. And so, yes, it's okay to create these expectations of, okay, I have 15 minutes to do this. I'm going to practice this vocal technique, or I'm going to, in this case for business, I am going to practice the craft of creating an Instagram story sequence that is going to sell my offer, which that is an art, right? Just like singing. Selling is an art. Business is an art. Singing is an art. And if it's an art, it's wonderful to put the time in, those 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, so long as you don't have an expectation that A, it's going to sound a certain way, be a certain way, be completed in a certain way, and B, that it's going to be great and perfect and do the job, right? So this is the delicate balance of business, and this is the delicate balance of particularly practicing the art of selling, I feel, which is something that I talk all about inside of Sell with Soul. Sell with Soul is such a great place to go if you want to master the art of selling. If you want to practice selling, right? And practicing means that maybe that first time it takes you 75 minutes to complete it and get your point across and use the selling points, which she did because she's inside of Sell with Soul, this particular client, right? Okay, now it's going to take 60 minutes the next time, and then 30 minutes the next time, and we get better and better and better, right? And we get even more clear with our messaging and our branding and how we actually, talk with our audience about what the offer is and how we incentivize them to join. All of that stuff takes practice, and all of that stuff takes the commitment to showing up for the practice without the expectation of it going a certain way in a certain period of time. And when in doubt, if you ever feel this way, just compare it to singing, right? You would never tell your voice student to go and practice an advanced technique in 15 minutes and expect that they're going to get it. And if they don't get it within 15 minutes, then something is wrong with their voice and something is wrong with them, right? Like we would never say that. We would never say that. So why do we put these expectations on ourselves? When it comes down to it, we are all practicing how to master the art of business and selling. And it is a practice that you practice mastering just like anything else. So don't be discouraged. It's all good. What matters is that you are showing up for it, that you are committing to the practice, that you're saying, all right, yep, it took me 75 minutes. So now what can I do with that? How can I leverage that? How can I learn from that? How can I make it 60 minutes next time or 70 minutes or whatever, right? And that you're just going to continue doing that forever. Like, I feel like I'm pretty darn fast now at selling basically anything, voice lessons, programs, group coaching programs, like whatever, I can sell it. And I feel pretty decently fast at it, but I still could get so much faster. And so I practice this too, of I will post something, whether it's a reel or a carousel or an Instagram story or an email or a podcast or whatever. And I will ask myself after I've completed it, how can I make that faster next time? How can I make that simpler next time? How can I make that easier next time? How can I get my message more across next time? Right? And you just continue asking yourself that, and you continue getting better and better and better. So it's all good. It's all good. Don't worry how long it takes. You are not alone. You're going to get better at it, and I'm here to support you. So if you're interested in getting more of that support, check out the show notes below, and I will catch you in the next episode. Oh my goodness, that was so juicy, and I'm so glad you're still here listening. You are amazing, and I can't wait to see what you take away from this episode and what you bring into your teaching business. Oof, it is going to be so good. If you want to come and see for yourself what it means to grow and scale your teaching business, come and check out the resources inside of the show notes or visit us over at thevoicepreneur.com. If you enjoyed this episode, take a screenshot, share it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at thevoicepreneur. Or if that's not your vibe, that's totally fine. Share it with your 2 best voice teacher friends so that we can continue spreading the good word that you can create a sustainable, spacious, and fun as fudge cake teaching business that makes an enormous impact on your students' lives and your life and your bank account. It's awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I love you so much, and I can't wait to see how your business changes your life. I'll catch you in the next episode.